Hello and welcome back to Marvel Puzzle Quest with me, P.I. McLeod. We're on day 4103, and we're doing pretty good. Nothing big going on right now. Namor's just been released into the latest Legends. We've all done our pull sessions, and really it's just all been about getting those Gorgon covers now, because he's the new guy. We have those Gorgon quests to do, and questions are out. Is he good? Is he not? I lean towards the latter. There's been talk about Winfinites, infinite combos that can last forever with him. But honestly, a lot of that's due to using certain supports on him. So is that really him, or is it just supports? I like to think it's just the supports doing the work, because, if it's not for them, then the character's kind of meh, right? But that's not what we're here for today. We're here for something quite simple and very traditional on this channel, the Crash of the Titans. We go into here, not there, right there. Boom. I didn't realize Spider Silk was tomorrow. Okay, we know what tomorrow's PvE is. Okay, we only got one Crash for this week, nice and simple. We're going against Black Widow. And which one is it? Well, the 5-star one. Let's think about that for a second. 5-star Widow came out a long time ago, at the height of the MCU movies, reaching all that popularity that they had, on top of the box offices once upon a time. But her kit was always a little uninspired. Not saying that she's a horrible character, but she's definitely not even, I wouldn't say middle of the fives. She had one use back in the day, and that was that she has a passive that states that if anyone on her team gets stunned, then she stuns the target on the opposing team for one turn. That's it. That's her passive. It made it so that it was a little threatening, like you didn't want to stun anyone else on the team without stunning her first. She became the target to be stunned, then you could stun someone else. So because of that, at that point in time in the game, we had Black Widow and Doctor Strange team together a lot. Because if you wanted to stun Strange, well, Widow would stun you. But if you stunned Widow, then Strange would do his clap back with his yellow passive. So you basically just ate the yellow passive, and then you stunned Strange, or killed him, or whatever you need to do with it. You had to take care of her first. The rest of her kit isn't really much worth speaking about. She has some basic nuke powers that do extra effects if they kill a person, or if she's down to 20% or less health. Nothing really that big of a deal to talk about. I'd go in more depth, but honestly, it's not really worth it. There's no threat here with fighting 5-star Black Widow, and even if there was a good team built around her, I struggle to find a reason to play her that often anymore. That's kind of a heavy indictment for me, and I know that because I kind of find a reason for a lot of characters on this channel, but sorry, Widow. 5-star Widow is probably one of the lamest of them. There's reasons for, I think, everyone else. Every other Widow has a place and a purpose, but the 5-star one is the most expensive. Well, that's not fair. The most expensive would be green 3-star Black Widow, but even that is a nice heavy team nuke with a lot of board shake. She's got expensive powers here that don't have quite as much fun or kick to them. Anyways, going against her with Ghost, the Quantum Thief. Ghost was put into this game, well, you guessed it right, with the Ant-Man movies where she came out with. And let's remove this boost and get into her power set, right? We got purple, red, and blue for her, and really, if I have to quantify or sum her up, she was a nice bruiser before the likes of Juggernaut, Rhino, America Chavez, people that do just basic awesome damage just for existing. She kind of did that too, and she still does, but unfortunately she kind of does it nowadays like Headpool does. Here, let's get into her abilities. I think Unfazed, or is it a Power Cycle? Let's go Power Cycle. Yep, there it is. Ghost base match damage is increased by 300%. Period. Right off the bat. 300% stronger match damage on all her numbers, right? Whenever she fires a power, she gets a 3-turn countdown that grants her 6 red AP, It's just firing a power. It's just going to give her 6 red AP. Well, I'm sorry. Let me say it correctly. When she fires a power, she's going to get a countdown that gives her 6 red AP when it finishes. And while that countdown's on the board, this power becomes Stasis Protocol. Stasis Protocol states that, well, it's again a passive. Her base match damage is increased by 100%. Basically, it goes back down to kind of normal. Okay. When there's no power cycle countdown tile on the board, it goes back to power cycle. Pretty simple, right? Note this is when there's no power cycle countdown on a tile on the board. So yes, you could do stuff with like Mighty Thor or someone else to help you remove that tile. Anything to get rid of that tile gets her back in her good place even faster. The problem with this ability is very little actually, but the problem is that her match damage works just like Head Pools does, where that the percentage match increase, it happens after she makes the match. So you're not going to see her icons everywhere because she's got 300%. Her all her match damage numbers will look the same until you make the match, and then it applies the 300%. It's not like Juggernaut where he gets his all up front and he just dominates a lot of the board, or like Colossus where he dominates a lot of the board. She has to wait until after she makes the match to cash in her extra bonus. It's a shame, but it's what it is. So it makes it so she doesn't tank a lot of stuff, unfortunately. She just kind of tanks her normal colors, unless you put on some supports or something else to help that out. Since she's getting 6 red out of that countdown, let's look at the red. Unfazed costs 10. This is another reason why she's kind of meh. Yeah, she got 6 from that countdown, but you had to wait 3 turns to get it out there after casting an ability. Anyways, she deals a decent amount of nuke damage, but for 10, I don't know about that. Anyways, if she's invisible, instead it deals a lot more damage. Like a lot more. Like 2.5 times more damage. That's actually a good nuke. 10 red for 20k according to my screen here. And you get to ignore enemy projectiles with it as well. It's super good. So yeah, that's pretty cool, but she has to be invisible. Now of course, this doesn't say that she has to be invisible by her own means. If you have other ways of turning her invisible, maybe 4-star invisible woman, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. If you have any other way to get her invisible, yes, this will still give you all that benefit without all the losing 300% match damage. And then finally, there's Supply Run. This is how she goes invisible by herself, really. For 10 purple, she creates, well, let's crank up to 4. I'm at level 5, I'm sorry, so you can see the full effect. She creates 4 invisibility tiles targeting herself. Whenever you match an invisibility tile, you restore a small chunk of health to her. It's kind of nice, you know. It was one of the earlier characters besides Howard the Duck that had multiple invisibility tiles, so it was harder to remove her. I think they were also trying to add more viability or purpose for people to play War Machine, because his blue just kills the invisibility tiles on the board. But that never really happened. No one ended up using Ghost that much, and no one really cared about War Machine's ability to do that. Even though it was a decent nuke, it just cost too much to have it work. So most often you'll see people like me put this down to level 3. 2 invisibility tiles is enough to get the point across, and you'll still get your invisibility. You still get health restore when an invisibility tile, when you match an invisibility tile. And of course, being invisible when power cycle is up, in other words, she's invisible and has 300% match damage, it's pretty darn cool. It seems like a decent kit overall if you really look at it like that, but at the same time, it's just the numbers are high. The numbers are high, her match damage bonus isn't up front, yeah, it's on the back end. It just ends up being like, well, it's cool, but not as cool as it could be. Thankfully, I will give her this. She's a lot better than 5-star Black Widow. And we'll show you why in this fight. Let's get into the options where we're going to turn on the animations, because man, I will never remember to do that right away, will I? Story, Deadpool Daily, Crash of the Titans. There we go. Ghost versus Black Widow. Go. I'm gonna unplug my power cable. I think my phone is charged enough. Let's go. Well, here you'll see the match get made. See, look at Ghost. Ghost will deal 680 damage, but if you look at her numbers, oh. I want you to look at my face right now. This is not how it used to be. I'm showing my age in the game now. Ghost used to not work like this. Her numbers weren't up front before. I owe an apology. Okay, devs, you threw a curveball at me. She used to be pretty DOA in my opinion because her match damage wasn't up front, which made it really horrible and annoying to deal with. Like what's the point of using her if she's not going to match more of the tiles? But surprised me. Okay. Well, this will be a lot quicker than we thought. Match this. There goes 4,000 damage. I'm thoroughly shocked that this is how this is now, because this used to not work like this. She used to show her normal match damage numbers pre 300% bonus. That's pretty surprising. Hey, Matt, you caught me with my proverbial pants down here. I'm now realizing that they upgraded Ghost at some point, and I did not realize that. That's amazing. I wonder why. There was never a clamoring for a better Ghost. Huh. Well, shoot. Well, this is, now Black Widow's gonna die way too fast. I should have boosted these AP counts just so I could have gotten more powers fired off. Oh well. She's dead now. Do I win? Yeah, I mean, yes. I think everyone wins. I mean, if you're this just made this Crash the Titans even easier. Not that it would have changed the outcome that much because it's a one-on-one fight. However, for the longest time, I would tell you for years, and I'm throwing my wrist rest down. For years, I complained that it was dumb that Ghost didn't have it up front because you'd have other people on your team with red, blues, and purples, and they would tank over Ghost because her match damage wasn't up front. So now that she has it, wow, that actually made her a lot more viable. I'm surprised and impressed. Good job. Hey, what's up, Kevlar? How you doing, bud? Oh, no problem, Kev. And yeah, yeah, you could probably win, Matt. You know what the best part about this is? If you're going to go into that fight now and you have any questions about going against Black Widow, just remember that even if your Ghost isn't champed, now that you know that it's up front and you see how much damage she can theoretically do, throw on one of those boosts that say 50% more match damage. Throw on a boost and then throw on a support that say you do extra damage against the enemy heroes in this case. Like Taskmaster Sword says it does more damage against enemy heroes. Just start multiplying it. Supports plus boost damage boosts. Oh man, you got this. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm not sure what word to call you by. Def not. Say def. Def's cool with me. I'm cool with def. Oh man. Yeah, no, Matt, and to answer your very earlier question, no, I don't use Ghost that much because, honestly, ever since they made her, they had that problem with having her not showing her damage up front. And I can't stress how annoying that is that, you know, let's just do this right now, Ghost. So you got blue, red, and purple colors right here, right? Okay, so if I go into my filter, and I just take off this 4-star thing here, I could put her with, oh, you know what? We should put another 4-star, just anyone, right? So if I teamed her with Magic, Magic could actually tank over her in certain aspects, or Nightcrawler, or Winter Soldier, or also Bloodstone, because the match damage multiplier didn't kick in until after she made a match. But now that she gets it up front, this means she's always going to tank those colors. And, you know, she doesn't have extra defense or health over anyone else, but now she can do what she does, which is actually lay the smackdown, you know, instead of, you know, having, I don't know, Monica Rambeau try to fulfill that role. That's so much better. So much better. Anyways. call me KP for sure. KP, man? Okay. I will try to keep that in mind. KP. Gotcha, man. Anyways. Wait. The first time for you to run the crash, Matt? Do it. Go for it. That's a free LT. Only one of them this week, but still, it's free LT. You take those. That's all I got for you right now, honestly. I do have a plan for probably tomorrow, if not the next day, within a couple days. Let's give it that. Busy father and all that. But I want to run an Ascension 2.0 video. Okay? I had an Ascension video about a little over a year ago, and about how Ascension works, all the ins and outs of it. And it was very early in Ascension's phases. We're a little over a year past Ascension starting. Let's do a now versus then sort of look back and kind of give it to you one more time, but now with feeling. Anyways. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me, Kev, Matt, KP. I appreciate it all. I got to get going. My kids are about ready to run down these stairs and jump on me. So I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks again. See you.